My wife said she was working late, but I caught her sneaking off to a hotel with a married man. What I found out about their private meetings will make your blood boil. Face with team from Nose cheating exposed. Title: My wife cheated and lied for months. I finally found out the truth. Posted on r/relationship_advice. Part 1. The calm before the storm. Hey Reddit, throwaway account because I'm not ready for friends or family to see this yet. Buckle up, this one's a ride. I, 34M, have been married to my wife, let's call her Jess, 32F, for 7 years. We've been together for 10. For most of those years I honestly thought we were the couple. You know, the ones everyone assumes are rock solid. We had inside jokes, shared Spotify playlists, dumb little traditions like Pizza Fridays and No Pants Sundays. We were that couple who'd randomly text each other memes in the middle of the workday just to laugh. But lately something's felt off. And I'm not talking about the usual marriage bumps. I'm talking about this cold, distant version of her that showed up about 6 months ago. I chalked it up to work stress at first. She started a new marketing role at this boutique firm and it was pretty demanding. She was coming home later, glued to her phone constantly, just elsewhere. She'd always been kind of a firecracker, opinionated, sarcastic, blunt, but lately it shifted. She became snippy, dismissive, and frankly, kind of mean. Like every little thing I did annoyed her. I'd make dinner and she'd pick at it like it was roadkill. I'd ask her what was wrong and she'd hit me with the classic, nothing, I'm just tired. At first, I believed her. I shouldn't have. Part 2. Red flags waving like it's the 4th of July. So things kept spiraling from weird to WTF. Just started getting really secretive with her phone. Like, full-on screen tilt whenever I was near her and it was always on silent or face down. She changed her phone passcode, which was weird because we used to know each other's without a second thought. She started working late a lot. Sometimes till 10 or 11 p.m. When I'd offer to bring her food or swing by the office to say hi, she'd get all snappy and say, "Don't embarrass me at work," or "I don't need you hovering." Okay, ouch. She also suddenly started caring a lot more about her appearance. New lingerie that I never saw her in, fancy perfume she'd never worn before, spending way more time getting ready even on supposed work nights. And look, I'm all for self-care, but this was different. It felt curated. I remember one night, she came home around midnight, said she was at a team dinner and reeked of cologne. Not her perfume. Cologne. I asked her about it and she laughed and said, "Ugh, the waiter spilled a drink on me." I wanted to believe her. I really did. But my gut? My gut was already screaming. I just wasn't ready to listen yet. One day I joked about her having a work husband and she froze. Just stood there staring at me for a full 3 seconds before nervously laughing it off like I was insane. That laugh haunted me for days. Part 3. The slip-up that changed everything. Alright, here's where things started unraveling fast. So about a month ago, I was doing laundry. Yeah, she never does it, that's always been my chore, and I noticed a blouse I'd never seen before. Lacy. Low cut. Definitely not her usual boss lady vibe. I checked the label, Victoria's Secret. Tags were still half attached. Price still on it. $89.99. Now, Jess and I share a joint account. We both know what's being spent and where. So naturally, I checked the transactions. Nothing from Victoria's Secret. Not online. Not in store. That meant one thing, cash purchase. And that's when my stomach dropped. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her purse while she was in the shower. I hate that I even have to say that, but at this point I needed to know. And that's when I found the receipt. Not for the lingerie, for a hotel. A single night stay at a hotel 20 minutes from her house. Dated 2 weeks back. The same night she said she was at a client dinner with her team downtown. My hands were shaking. I felt sick. Heart pounding like I just run a marathon. I remember sitting on our bed holding that crumpled receipt like it was a smoking gun. Because it was. I didn't confront her right then. I wish I could say I stormed in, demanded answers, called her out. But the truth? I froze. My brain just shut down. I think part of me still didn't want it to be real. So instead I put the receipt back. Pretended like nothing happened. And I started planning. Part 4, Operation Confirmation begins. Alright, so after finding that hotel receipt, I knew I couldn't just confront her without being 100% sure. Jess is the kind of person who can lie on a dime and make you feel like the crazy one for even asking. She's done it before with small stuff, like claiming she didn't move my keys when they were literally in her purse. Gaslighting 101. So I decided to play it smart. I started documenting everything. Dates, times she said she was working late, what she was wearing when she left, how she acted when she got home. I even went back through our texts and calendar invites to match up her stories. Patterns started forming. Always client meetings on Thursdays. Always team dinners once a week. Always the same annoyed, eye-rolling reaction if I showed concern or interest. I also noticed she started leaving the house with a second bag. Not her usual work tote, this smaller gym duffel. One night, I peeked in it when she left it in the car. Inside? A toothbrush, travel-sized perfume, and get this, a pair of heels she never wore around me. Literally never. Still looked brand new. That same week, I installed a GPS tracker in her car. I know. It felt gross. But I needed truth. I was tired of guessing, tired of feeling like a paranoid idiot while she played the role of the overworked martyr. And wouldn't you know it, Thursday night rolls around and instead of her office downtown, her car ends up at that same hotel from the receipt. She was there for 3 hours. Came home at 11:47 p.m., hair messy, smudged eyeliner, smelling like aftershave. I asked her how the client dinner was. She didn't even blink. Said it was boring as hell and that she had to pretend to care about some tech guy's app launch. Then she walked right past me into the bathroom humming some Dua Lipa song like everything was peachy. That was the moment I knew. I didn't think she was cheating. I knew. Part 5, the confrontation act I of the sh** storm. Okay. So I finally hit my limit. It was a Saturday. She'd just come home from a spa day with the girls, wearing full makeup, hair blown out, and you guessed it, the same heels from the duffel bag. Only this time she didn't even try to hide the hickey on her collarbone. I wish I was joking. A goddamn hickey. I stood in the kitchen, trying to keep my cool. She was tossing her keys in the bowl like nothing happened, rambling about how amazing her facial was and how Karen's boyfriend is such a tool. Like I cared. Then I just said it. Who is he? She froze. Her mouth opened like she was gonna ask what I meant, but I saw the panic flash across her face. That half second of pure guilt? That was all the confirmation I needed. She blinked and then went into full performance mode. What the hell are you talking about? I pulled out my phone. Showed her the GPS logs. The hotel receipt. Hell, I even showed her a damn screenshot of the hotel on Google Maps with the check-in timestamp. She didn't even deny it. Didn't cry. Didn't apologize. Didn't beg. Instead, she laughed. Straight up laughed in my face and said, "Wow. You really went full psycho, huh?" I swear to God, I felt my soul leave my body. She said I was invading her privacy, that I was controlling, and my insecurity was exhausting. Like I was the one who cheated. Then she hit me with this. If you'd been half as attentive in bed as you were with tracking my car, maybe I wouldn't have needed someone else. Yeah. She said that. I didn't even speak. I just walked out the door before I did something I'd regret. I drove around for hours. Parked in some grocery store lot and just sat there. Hands on the wheel. Eyes blurry. Stomach in knots. This was the woman I'd spent a decade with. Who the hell was she? Part 6, everything falls apart including a lamp. Alright, so after storming out I stayed gone that whole night. Slept in my car like a loser, hoodie over my head, trying to piece together how the hell my life got nuked in a single conversation. I didn't cry, not yet. I think I was too numb. Like my brain just decided, nope, we're done feeling for today. When I came home the next morning, the place was quiet, too quiet. Jess was sitting on the couch scrolling through her phone like she hadn't just detonated our marriage. The same chick who used to freak out if I forgot to buy oat milk now had the emotional range of a rock. I walked in, said, "We need to talk." Her eyes didn't even leave her phone. "We talked yesterday," she said. Like, what? No apology. No remorse. Just that smug, bitchy detachment like I was the crazy one for still caring. I asked her if she was still seeing the guy. She said, "It doesn't really matter anymore, does it?" I lost it. Not screaming, not hitting things, but I started pacing, hands in my hair, breathing like I'd run a marathon. I said, "Who are you? How can you just blow up our life and act like I spilled your coffee?" That's when she stood up and said something that still plays on repeat in my head. "I'm just done pretending, okay? This marriage has been dead for years." I was just too polite to say it. Polite. I grabbed the nearest thing I could find, a lamp on the side table, and chucked it across the room. Not at her, not even near her. Just somewhere to put all the rage that had nowhere else to go. It shattered. She flinched. Looked at me for the first time that morning with something close to fear. And you know what she said? "See? This is why I needed someone else. You're unstable." That was the moment the anger drained out of me and turned into sadness so deep I felt like I was drowning in it. She twisted the knife. Again. And again. Part 7, grief in a hoodie, curled up on the bathroom floor. So yeah, after the lamp incident I left again. Didn't say a word. Just walked out barefoot like a ghost and drove until I ended up at my buddy Dan's place. He's been my best friend since college, the kind of guy who won't ask questions until you're ready. He opened the door, saw my face, and just said, "Couch is yours." I think I slept for maybe an hour that night. Maybe. I spent most of the time in his guest bathroom, lights off, sitting on the tile floor like a damn movie cliché. Hoodie over my head, knees pulled up, just empty. No anger, no screaming, just this cold ache in my chest like someone had hollowed me out with a spoon. All I could think was, how did I not see it sooner? Was I that blind? That naive? Was I really that easy to lie to? And then came the worst thought of all, was I never enough to begin with? Let me tell you something Reddit doesn't always mention. When you get cheated on, it's not just about betrayal. It's this whole identity collapse. I wasn't just losing my wife. I was losing the version of me that believed in her, trusted her, built a damn life around her. Every photo on the wall, every stupid mug we bought on vacation, every dumb song we used to sing in the car, it all felt fake. Like I'd been living in a movie she stopped acting in a long time ago. I started thinking back to all the times she said I love you and wondering if she meant it. And yeah, I cried. Hard. Ugly. Snotty. Didn't care. And then the questions started. Was he better looking? Did she love him? Was I just her plan B this whole time? I spiraled. I really spiraled. Dan ended up sitting on the floor with me at 3 a.m., no words, just handing me a glass of whiskey and patting my back. That was the first time I said it out loud. She doesn't love me anymore. And I think that's when it became real. Part 8, the other guy has a name and a family. So a couple days go by. I'm still crashing at Dan's place, living off takeout and emotional numbness. Jess hasn't tried to contact me once. Not a text. Not a call. Nothing. Which honestly, hurt more than I expected. Like, you blow up our entire life and then just vanish? Like I was a lease you finally paid off and returned? Anyway, I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to know who the guy was. The man who helped bulldoze my marriage. So I did what any tech-savvy, heartbroken dude would do, I did some digging. I remembered the name Mark from a random story Jess told me months ago, some client who was so annoying at the time. Thought maybe it was him. I went through her old tagged photos on Facebook because yeah, she forgot to lock those down and found one from a company dinner. Her, wine glass in hand, fake laughing way too hard next to some guy. Mark. I clicked on his profile. And that's when the second bomb dropped. He's married. With kids. Plural. 2 little girls, like 5 and 7. One of the profile pictures was him and his wife apple picking. The whole damn family in matching flannel shirts. Classic suburban happiness. I stared at that picture for 5 full minutes, trying to process what kind of dirtbag this guy must be to cheat on his own family and help someone else destroy mine. So I messaged him. Yeah, I know, probably not the cool-headed thing to do, but I was past the point of caring. I wrote, "Hey Mark, I know who you are and I know what you've been doing with my wife. Thought your wife and kids might want to know too. You've got 24 hours to come clean or I will." No response. I waited. Checked every 5 minutes like a man possessed. Still nothing. So I did what I promised. I messaged his wife. Sent screenshots. Dates. Photos. Hotel receipts. I wrote, "I'm sorry to drop this on you, but you deserve to know the truth. My wife and your husband have been sleeping together for months." She replied within minutes. One line. "Thank you. You're not the first one." That sentence? It wrecked me. Because it meant Jess wasn't special to him either. Part 9, she finds out I went nuclear and explodes back. So the next morning, I'm sitting on Dan's porch, drinking burnt coffee out of a chipped mug, just trying to exist without punching the air. My phone starts buzzing like a hive of angry bees. It's Jess. Miss Radio Silence suddenly has a lot to say. First message. What the actual F*** did you do? Second. You're ruining lives now? Are you proud of yourself? Third. His wife kicked him out. His kids saw them fighting. You think that makes you a hero? No, I'm sorry. No, I made a mistake. Just straight up rage because I exposed her lie. I didn't respond. Not at first. I let her spiral. Then she called. And like an idiot, I picked up. My heart was pounding and my hands were shaking, but I wanted to hear her voice. I don't know why. Some twisted part of me needed to see if any of the woman I married was still in there. She didn't even say hello. Just launched in. You were such a child. You couldn't handle the truth, so you went full scorched earth on someone else's life? Do you know how manipulative that is? I asked her again if she felt even 1 ounce of guilt. She said, "We were already falling apart. You just didn't want to admit it." I said, "You could have left. You could have talked to me. You didn't have to F*** someone behind my back for months." And then get this, she said. "It wasn't just about sex, okay?" He actually listened. He made me feel seen. My jaw dropped. Like, seen? Lady, I made you dinner 5 nights a week and rubbed your feet after work while you scrolled Pinterest and ignored me. I asked about your day, brought you flowers, defended you in front of my family when they said you were cold. I gave her everything I had. And somehow that still wasn't enough. I told her we were done. Not just fighting done, marriage overdone. I said I'd be filing for divorce and she should start figuring out her living situation. I didn't want the house. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted out. She hung up without saying goodbye. And I haven't heard her voice since. Part 10, the fallout spreads like wildfire. So yeah, after that final call with Jess, I officially went radio silent. Blocked her number, removed her from socials, nuked every shared calendar, playlist, password, and streaming service we ever touched. If we had digital DNA, I scrubbed it clean. But the world? It wasn't so easy to shut off. Turns out when you blow up a double life situation, the shrapnel hits everyone. And fast. First to reach out, her sister, Lindsay. She texted me. "I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I always thought she didn't deserve you. Didn't expect that. Next was our mutual friend group, which pretty much imploded overnight. Half of them messaged me in support. The other half, mostly her work friends, either ghosted or made weird vague posts about men who can't handle strong women. Yeah, real subtle. Dan, the MVP of this whole hell ride, helped me move some stuff out of the house. Jess wasn't there, thank God. I took what I needed, clothes, keepsakes, my dog, she never liked him anyway, and a few photos I still couldn't bring myself to throw out. Not yet. Then came the wildest twist, a phone call from my mom. She said, "Sweetheart, I need to tell you something." I braced for another bomb. Turns out she knew. Not the whole affair, but something was off. A few months back, Jess showed up at my parents' place alone, drunk, crying, and said, "Get this. I don't think I love him anymore. I think I made a mistake." My mom tried to talk her down, told her to get therapy, told her not to throw away something good. But Jess never brought it up again. My mom didn't tell me because, in her words, I thought she'd snap out of it. I didn't want to plant doubt. I love my mom, but that hit hard. Knowing the cracks were showing and no one told me? Felt like I'd been walking across ice and everyone else heard it cracking but didn't warn me. I asked Mom, why didn't she just leave me? She said something I'll never forget. Because selfish people don't leave. They wait to be caught so they don't have to be the villain. Goddamn. That line stuck with me. Part 11, finding myself and running into Mark's wife in aisle 6. So, a couple weeks go by. Life feels raw. Quiet in a way that's not peaceful, more like the aftermath of a storm. Like you're standing in the debris of your own house and don't know where to even begin picking it all up. I started going to therapy. Dan basically signed me up himself and said, "You need to talk to someone who's not me and not drunk." Fair enough. First session I just sat there. Didn't know where to start. The therapist asked me to describe Jess without using the word wife. I said, complicated, exhausting, electric, mine. Then I broke down crying. Because that last word, mine, that part hurt the most. Not because I still wanted her, but because I had made her my whole life. I built a version of myself around her approval, her moods, her presence. And now she was gone and I had no idea who I was without her. So I started figuring it out. I hit the gym again. Started eating better. Got a journal. Got a tattoo, just a small one on my forearm. A phoenix. I know, kind of cliché, but after the emotional nuclear fallout I'd lived through, it felt right. And then, I ran into Mark's wife. Grocery store. Middle of the day. I was just trying to buy eggs and protein bars like a functional adult. And there she was, in the cereal aisle, holding a box of Cheerios like it was the last piece of normal left in her life. We locked eyes. She gave me a tight, tired smile. I said, "Hey." She said, "Hey." We stood there for a second, both knowing way too much about each other's pain for strangers. Then she said, "I kicked him out. Filed last week." I nodded. "I'm sorry." She shrugged. "I'm not. I just wish I'd done it sooner." We didn't say much else. Didn't need to. There was this unspoken understanding in that moment. Two people standing in the ashes of their marriages, still breathing, still moving, somehow. As I walked away, she said, "You're not crazy, by the way. Just heartbroken. It'll pass." God, I needed that. Part 12. The comeback queen tries to rewrite the script. So I'm finally starting to feel okay. Not good, not whole, but like I'm not dying every time I wake up. Therapy's helping. I'm sleeping more than 3 hours a night. And I haven't checked her socials in over a week, which might as well be rehab-level progress. Then she texts, Jess, out of nowhere, after weeks of silence. I get this message on a random Tuesday night. "Can we talk?" I stared at it for a solid 10 minutes. Thought about ignoring it. Thought about sending back a photo of my middle finger. Thought about asking, talk or lie? But of course, being the curious idiot I still partly was, I said, "About what?" She responds, "Us. Everything. I miss you." My stomach turned. But I agreed to meet. I needed closure. Or maybe I just wanted to see how fake she'd be to my face now that everything had imploded. We met at this little coffee shop we used to love. Felt wrong being there with her again. Like we were ghosts from another life trying to play normal. She sat down across from me, wearing the same perfume I once adored, and gave me this wounded smile like she was the one who got betrayed. I didn't say a word. Just waited. She started in with this half-baked monologue about how she was confused, and how Mark wasn't what she thought, and how being away from me made her realize what she had. I watched her fake cry into her chai latte and wondered if she practiced it in the mirror beforehand. Then she said this, "I think we could fix this. Maybe go to couples therapy? Start fresh." I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was so far gone. Like she thought this was a movie and all it needed was a dramatic coffee shop scene to roll credits on our happy ending. I asked her, Do you love him? She looked down, didn't answer. So I leaned in and asked again, louder, do you love him? She looked me dead in the eye and said, I did, but it wasn't real. Not like us. And for the first time in weeks, I felt nothing for her. Not pain, not anger, not love, just silence. I stood up, left a 20 on the table and said, you cheated on us. And I don't share what I love. Walked out without looking back. Felt like walking out of a burning house and realizing the only thing you needed was already in your pocket. Part 13. The Hail Mary text and the last gasp of a ghost. Alright, so it's been a couple weeks since the coffee shop scene, and I'm actually doing okay. Like actually okay. Sleeping through the night. Working out consistently. Even started going out with friends again without feeling like I've got broken husband stamped on my forehead. Then Jess sends the text. It was a Tuesday night. Again with the damn Tuesdays. And I get this gem, out of nowhere. Just wanted you to know I'm thinking about you. I drove past our old Thai place today, and remembered how you always ordered for me. Miss that. Miss us. I stared at it. Honestly, I didn't even feel angry. I felt embarrassed for her. Like, girl, you blew up a 10-year relationship, lied for months, gaslit me so hard I questioned my own sanity. And now you're out here acting like we just grew apart and missed pad Thai date nights? But I didn't respond. Not even a K. I left it on read. Not because I'm still mad, but because she no longer deserves access to me. That part of my life? Closed. Locked. Deadbolt. The next day she doubled down. I know I hurt you, but maybe we were just scared. I still believe in what we had. And the kicker? I wish we could go back to the night we danced in the kitchen to that stupid Hall and Oates song. You mean the same kitchen you walked into with his cologne on your neck? I almost screenshot it and sent it to Dan just so we could laugh, but honestly, I didn't want to give her that power. It's wild how someone can go from your whole world to cringe material. I finally muted her number. Not blocked, just muted. Because I wanted to remember that even after she destroyed everything, she still tried to twist the knife with nostalgia, fake vulnerability, and that same manipulative charm. But me? I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not standing in that kitchen. I'm not asking why me while she rewrites the story. I'm done. Part 14, the rebuild and an unexpected smile from someone new. So here we are, months out from D-Day, the betrayal, the wreckage. And for the first time in what feels like forever, I'm not waking up with that tight, hollow feeling in my chest. The world feels a little less gray. My appetite's back. I'm laughing again. Hell, I even started whistling one morning and had to stop and check myself like, who the hell am I right now? The divorce papers are in. Official. Signed, sealed, and emotionally delivered. No dramatic courtroom showdown, no last-minute tears, just paperwork, logistics, and an unspoken agreement that we're done pretending we were ever going to make it. And in the middle of all this slow rebuild, I met someone. No, not like that. I'm not jumping into another relationship. I'm not that guy. But it was at a bookstore, of all places. I was grabbing a coffee, browsing through some beat-up Murakami novel, and this woman next to me just goes, that book wrecked me. We ended up talking for 20 minutes. About stories and sad endings and how sometimes books understand you better than people. Her name was Emily. She had this soft voice and these kind eyes that didn't look through me like Jess always did near the end. They looked into me like she actually cared what I was saying. I didn't ask for her number, but I left the store smiling. And not because I was flirting or trying to move on, just because, for the first time, I felt something warm. Hope, maybe? I don't know what comes next. Maybe it's more therapy. More books. More learning how to live for myself again. But I do know this. I'm not broken anymore. I was bruised. Betrayed. Lied to. Manipulated. But I survived. And somehow I came out stronger than I ever thought I'd be. Part 15, what I learned from losing everything and why I don't regret it anymore. Alright, Reddit. Here we are. The end of the road. It's been a hell of a ride, messy, painful, raw. But also freeing. I didn't think I'd get here. I thought I'd be stuck in that emotional black hole forever. But I'm not. And if you're reading this going through something similar, I promise you won't be either. So here's what I've learned. 1. Listen to your gut. You'll want to believe them. You'll want to write off red flags as stress or just a rough patch. But your intuition? It knows. Mine was screaming for months and I buried it under trust. You can love someone and still walk away when they start setting fires behind your back. 2. People don't cheat by accident. Cheating isn't a mistake. It's a choice. A repeated, deliberate, selfish one. Just didn't trip and fall into a hotel bed. She planned it, hid it, defended it, and then tried to twist the narrative like I was the problem. That's not love. That's manipulation with lipstick. 3. You are not what they did to you. For a while, I thought her cheating said something about me. That I was boring, or not enough, or too emotional. But her actions weren't a reflection of my worth, they were a mirror of her own brokenness. You don't heal from betrayal by hating yourself. You heal by reclaiming who you were before the damage. 4. Closure is a myth. You won't get that perfect aha moment where everything makes sense. Jess never apologized. Never truly owned it. And I stopped waiting for her to. You don't need the remorse to move on. Sometimes closure is realizing the door slammed shut for a damn good reason. 5. You will feel joy again. It sneaks in. Quietly. A laugh with a friend. A perfect song at the right time. A woman in a bookstore who reminds you that not every connection is doomed. The pain doesn't vanish, it just stops being the loudest thing in the room. So, to anyone reading this who's still in the thick of it, I see you. I know that ache. The questions. The anger. The shame. But you will come out the other side. Not as the same person, but as someone stronger, wiser, and probably with a really kick-ass therapist. And to Jess, if by some twist of fate you ever read this. Thanks. You broke me. But I built something better from the ruins. TLDR. Wife cheated. Lied. Gaslit. I found the truth, went scorched earth, fell apart, got therapy, and started over. It hurt like hell, but I wouldn't trade the clarity it gave me for anything. Stay strong out there, Reddit. You're worth so much more than someone who doesn't see you. Broken heart, right arrow fire, right arrow hammer and wrench, right arrow flex biceps, light skin own. OP finally healing.